What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Smoking Tire Podcast. Today's podcast is brought to you by Off the Record. We love Off the Record over here. They're looking out for us all the time. Wherever I drive confident that if I get a ticket, Off the Record is going to defend it to the death or to the pain. Or in court. They would go to court. If you get a ticket, don't plead guilty. Get Off the Record. Go to offtherecord.com/TST. Off the Record will defend that ticket in the precinct or jurisdiction where you got it, up to and including going all the way to court, trial, etc. You don't have to do nothing after you hire them. You just let them get the work done. And offtherecord.com/TST will get you 10% off all legal services with Off the Record. They're great. We love them over here at the Smoking Tire. Make sure you use them and drive safe. All right, on today's episode of the podcast, I recap the second half of the Performance Car of the Year test and talk about a little bit of extra special swag that I got to take home with me, as well as the upcoming weekend at Willow Springs. It's going to be really fun. I seem to have found a racing shoe that works for proper weekend endurance racing and a whole lot more on the Smoking Tire Podcast. Let's go.
We are alive.
I don't believe you.
Oh. Schrodinger's, well, but the cat can see itself in the box.
Schrodinger's producer.
So do you want to see the broadcast and then you'll know?
That won't be enough.
Jesus.
No. Hi. Hello. Wow. It's 10:15 a.m. Mm-hmm. I have been at work for 4 hours because I had a stack of bills like this because I had been gone for 2 weeks.
Whoa.
But I got them done, so I'm able to actually think about doing this show now, as predicted. Getting here at like that early was a good move.
You have 4 hours of bill paying?
I had about 3 hours of bill paying. Yeah. Dude, when you travel for that long at the beginning of the month, when you have like businesses and stuff, it's like bad. I mean, the bills weren't late, but they were just...
I just didn't know how many...
They were plentiful.
Things, like you got like water, power, Wi-Fi, and there's clearly far more things.
There's a bunch more. There's like lift maintenance, elevator maintenance. There's, oh boy. Well, there's also water and power and all that for 3 different buildings and a house. It's okay. There's just, when you're gone for a while, it takes a lot of time to do that. But that's okay. That's what this list was. The list was all of these lists plus whatever came in the mail. But I came in the mail and I crossed 13 things off the list, and there's only 19 things on the list. So like that's pretty good for the first 4 hours of a day back from a 2-week trip, I think.
Nice.
That's pretty productive, and only using decaffeinated coffee, mind you. Mm-hmm.
Oh, because you're out of coffee here.
No, because I didn't want to have caffeine, because if I tried to look at this list and all those bills while having 10 ounces of caffeine, I'd probably have a panic attack.
Yeah.
Yeah. But wow, what have you been doing?
I pulled apart my intake manifold last night.
Oh.
So I did that to install this voluntary, call it a hybrid air box. So it's sort of a cold air intake, but it uses the MAF thing. So it's going well so far. No problems.
Okay.
And this is on the disassembly part. So we'll see what happens with reassembly, of course. Trying to pull up a photo, but I have to restart switcher.
How long do you anticipate reassembly to take?
I don't know. I asked Matt, very nice person over at Voluntary, I was like, how long does it, and I phrased this, I said, how long does this take a normal person? And he said 4 to 5 hours.
Okay.
And I was like, all right, I'll divide it in 2 days. Did 2 hours last night. For me, I'm going to say 4 more. Just knowing me and like taking breaks for my back and stuff.
A normal person, if you ask an expert what a normal person is, they probably think it's someone more qualified maybe than you. Although you've done like a decent amount of wrenching on this car.
I have, but there's always, like, I've never taken this whole intake plenum off before. And so, like, getting it underneath those wires that we're going across, at first I was like, do I have to take these out? But no, you just have to move and push more than I feel comfortable with.
That's
the thing I don't know. Is they don't put that in the notes of like, no, just push, jiggle, and then tilt.
Push the glossary of terms. Push, jiggle, tilt,
It needs that.
Yeah.
Because the Pelican Parts guide, which was pretty good, but it just says, remove plenum. You're like, right, I've unhooked the things. Remove plenum.
Ooh, you have jumped there. You have put a lot of steps into one step.
So here's the old one, but the biggest thing that honestly surprised the shit out of me is that this thing weighs like 3 to 4 times more than the carbon one. I was shocked because this is a piece of plastic.
Yeah.
Like it's a plastic box. I expected it to weigh what a lunchbox weighs. It probably weighs 12 pounds.
Wow.
Right? Just for like a big, empty, open thing.
Maybe it's because it's plastic that is going to get really hot over
probably.
and over.
It's probably, I think it's thick.
It's thick. It has to like, it's probably used as a thermal regulation device in some way.
And it also has to be vibration proof for hundreds of thousands of miles. In many ways, the most reliable thing in the engine. So the new one should be mounted tonight if all goes according to plan, so people can see it at the Willow Springs Cars and Coffee, or on Instagram if you don't live in California.
Yeah, so that's happening. That's this coming weekend. I guess this show is going to air in the same week as this. So if you're in or can be in LA, October 11th, the Willow Springs Reimagined event. Zack and I are going to be out there. We're going to be doing a live show that you will not have to pay extra for once you're inside the venue. There is I think it's $20 to get in, but it all goes to charity. And they're going to be showing all the plans for the new track. There's going to be a bunch of cool vendors involved. There's going to be track demonstrations, some vintage cars. It's going to be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty stoked on it, honestly. And I'm going to bring the pink car, I think.
That seems to suit that place.
Yeah. And Zack will have the M3, and it'll be fun. So come on out. You can buy a ticket. I think just go to find Willow Springs on Instagram. There's a link to their...
Yeah, it's a link to an Eventbrite, and that's where you pay for it.
Yeah. And I think there's some extra high level of ticket as well that you can get some special thing maybe.
There are several tiers.
Yeah.
I don't remember them being crazy expensive. And one is like a car show entry.
Yeah.
If you want to be a part of that, I think. But yeah,
That's
Instagram.
where we're going to be.
Yes.
We're going to be in the car show area. Speaking of which, I heard Lyft was good this weekend in North Carolina.
Oh, I didn't see that.
The photos look nice, as they always do from Lyft. And I guess my old car was there, my Safari.
Oh, cool.
Got tagged a lot in Instagram for that one. So I'm glad people enjoyed seeing that. But I was up finishing Performance Car of the Year, which was so fun. It's the power of back-to-back comparisons is pretty unbeatable, man. This drive at the end of the day here with the not necessarily one of the 4 guarantees to win, but the 4 fastest cars we had with the ZR1, the Temerario, the GTD, and the GT3. Me and some of the other guys took turns with these on a very good road for like an hour, and very nice.
Very cool.
Very, very nice.
That livery on the 911 is crazy.
That's I don't know if it's factory or dealer or either, but it is available as an option. It's like $4,000. It's vinyl, not paint. But I'm really glad they put it on that GT3 because it's a much nicer thing to show in a magazine than just a white car.
Definitely.
It's definitely fun. And that GT3 it's so funny. I don't know if I said this last time, but when you drive a base 911, you're like, oh yeah, all you need is a base 911. Like you don't need the option. Even if it's a GT3, like this thing had like no options, like base seats, sticks, steel brakes. It was white, other than the stickers. Like not even Sport Chrono. Like, they sent this thing to do track work and it had like nothing on it, which is fun. But the when you drive a base 911, you're like, all I ever need is a base 911. And when you drive a loaded one, you're like, the options are what totally make this thing important.
Right.
Whatever one you've just driven is like it.
Well, because I guess the car is good enough and you're having a good time in the car. Mm-hmm. And then you look around and you go, what does this car have that must be making the difference? It's funny that we're like ignoring the car and they go, it's got to be these option seats or these other things.
Chassis. So, but some of these things, the GTD and the Lambo and the ZR1 on the street are pretty psychotic. I mean, these are some antisocial automobiles. They are. Oh man,
super fast, super loud.
These are fast and loud and crazy. And in the case of the ZR1, like I can't believe they're just selling that to people. It's like it's like a 765 or something. Like, oh my god,
but with way more power.
Yeah, it's heavier than a 765.
Okay.
It doesn't have the carbon tub. It does have 200 more horsepower, and I think a 765 is probably a little quicker and is definitely a little scarier because the ZR1 also has more, like I think more tire, or like 765 spun the tires more. The ZR1 did put the power down a little better, in like a straight line.
I mean, I will say, like, this is speculation, but Corvette has had such good like performance traction management for years and years and years, and worked on it, and maybe that's where some of that magic comes from.
Yeah, and the 765 is a few years old too. They've had one, there's one around that they could try and benchmark, but it was it's crazy that they're selling that to people, and respect to the fact that, $200K is a ton of money, but for quote so little money is pretty wild, because you could also daily one, like, just like if you get that, like if you get a less like tracky one, this one had the carbon wheels and the sticky tires and like the super darty alignment. You could get like a more regular one that has a smaller wing and, more summer high performance tires, but not the sticky ickies. And you could pretty much daily that just like any other car.
Get the Grand Touring edition, basically.
Yeah, and it'd be 1,000 horsepower.
Right?
Like,
that's super
GM
that's cool.
durability cycle. Like, what? Folks, this episode is brought to you by DeleteMe. Right now, the headlines are chock full of data breaches and regulatory rollbacks, making us all vulnerable. But you can do something about it. DeleteMe is here to make it easy, quick, and safe to remove your personal data online. DeleteMe is not just a one-time service. They're always working for you, constantly monitoring and removing the personal information you don't want on the internet. In fact, New York Times Wirecutter has named DeleteMe their top pick for data removal services. And this is so great. I use it. It's so easy. All you do is you make an account, you sign up at DeleteMe, and then you put in your information, like where I live and used to live, phone numbers, employers, etc. And then DeleteMe goes to all the big data broker websites, searching for the things that I want to search for, automatically deleting it, filing takedown notices, everything. It could be social security numbers, it could be addresses, it could be information about my family members. And they send me this report of what they found, and then they delete it all. And then every month they send me new reports, and the number keeps going down by a little bit. And it's an ongoing service. I know they're always looking out for me, not just the one time. And I have seen a reduction in like spam texts and phone calls and scammy things and things like that. You can do it too. Take control of your data. Keep your private life private by signing up for DeleteMe now at a special discount for our listeners. Get 20% off your DeleteMe plan when you go to www.joindeleteme.com/tire and use promo code TIRE at checkout. The only way to get 20% off is to go to www.joindeleteme.com/tire and enter code TIRE at checkout. That's www.joindeleteme.com/tire, code TIRE. Also brought to you today by Rula. Rula is, guys, this is so money because it is so hard to find the right therapist. That's just hard in itself. How do you know? You're going to go, I'm going to tell a stranger all the things about me that I really don't tell anybody else. That's why you go to therapy, to have that impartial, dispassionate person help you talk through things where you can't talk through them with your friends or your family or whatever. I've seen a therapist for the last 20 years and it's immensely helpful. But starting over, I wouldn't even know where to start. Right? And then you have to talk about insurance. Your health insurance covers medical stuff, but it shouldn't be so hard to get it to cover mental stuff. And so Rula is here for you. Telehealth from Rula is more convenient and accessible for millions of people. Rula isn't just affordable, they stick with you through your journey, making sure you get the best therapy and that you're making progress. With Rula, every provider is carefully vetted and chosen for their experience. You'll always know you're in the hands of quality providers who are dedicated to making real progress in your care. The first step to your journey, on your journey to mental well-being is easy. Rula starts by just asking you a few questions about what's important to you and then provides a list of licensed in-network providers who match your preferences. You can schedule your preferred time and meet with your therapist as soon as the next day. So go to rula.com/tire to get started today. That's RULA.com/tire for convenient therapy that's covered by your insurance. Now, back to the show. You know, and in some ways that's still a Corvette, but like, you know, when you're talking about like not just pace, but it's a small, you know, ish 5.5 liters, but small-ish twin turbo V8 that really does feel like a Pista, you know, like, you know, in kind of a lot of ways. They've sort of gotten that bit down in the same way the Z06 was to the, but it also makes you think like, yes, it's different, it's turbos and all that, but like, the difference between the Z06 and the ZR1 most of the time isn't much, and the Z06 still sounds better. The Z06 is like, it definitely sounds, especially the last day it was really sunny and we took the top off, and it was pretty funny because most people, even the road and track people, like kind of forgot that the top comes off on those, and we took the top off, and I was expecting like, you know, I was like a revelation. But actually, it's better with the top on because it kind of contains. Oh,
it's like a resonance box, sort of. Oh, right. I was next to a Z06 in traffic, like stop and go, and I went, "This thing sounds good."
The Z06 with the top off is awesome. Like my money, I'd probably still get a Z06, but the ZR1 is just psychotically fast.
Right. If you don't need psychotically fast, you know, if you don't live in Nevada or somewhere with really long, straight, unpatrolled roads and a runway, close course, of course.
Yeah. The real differences happen like over 100 miles an hour, you know, between 6, 7, or really not 100 miles an hour because that's not accurate because the ZR1's faster all the time. The differences happen at over 75% throttle, which when you have a Z06 is rare. Like, be honest. You're not, you know.
What do you mean when you have a Z06?
If you have a Z06, you're flooring it not that often because that's a ton of power to use on the street. Flooring it and shifting it red line. Rare, pretty rare. Even if you've got a fast car, that's a small percentage of time that you're driving.
True.
You can't drive like that. Nobody can drive like that on the street. So the difference between the Z06 and ZR1 happens in that last 25% of throttle. So it's like if you have the circumstances to use that a lot, does it become important? Same thing with any fucking fast EV. Like, how often are you flooring a base one? Like, probably pretty rarely.
Yeah. Yeah, true. I mean, true of most cars, especially beyond 80 miles per hour. You know, some people might floor it to get onto the highway and they're like, wah, bop, bop, and then they're at traffic speed. Yeah. But continuing past that, where a lot of, you know, the 1,000 horsepower plus cars really start to show their technology. Yeah. You're just not doing it very much.
It's pretty rare. Yeah. Even if you drive, like, aggressively in the canyons or whatever, bless you. You know, once a car is over like 500 horsepower, you just don't have room for that.
Totally.
Trust me. I've done it. I've tried. There isn't fucking room. Like, and if you try to make room, your luck will run out sooner rather than later.
One of the rules in our house is that Sarah can't buy a car with over 500 horsepower because she's not prepared for it.
Well, I
had that's a lot.
I would say I spun on track. I spun the ZR1 I spun the Lambo once.
During drift shots or just driving fast?
No. While intending to slide. And I spun the M5 probably twice. Because the M5, it took me a while to figure out that you need to slide it with...
You need no throttle.
Exactly 2% throttle, not 2. Otherwise, it will just insta-spin.
Wow.
But the only time where I had a near whoopsie while not while trying to do a slide for a shot was the ZR1 on the front straight. I just kept feeling like I could brake a little later, and on next lap, I tried to brake like half a second later. And boy,
it's a lot of feet.
Boy, was that a lot of feet at the speed I was going. And the front wheel didn't go in the grass, but it was probably 6 inches from the grass.
Now, you made the corner, but you were very close to the grass, or you just went...
Yeah. I made the corner, but I was like 20 feet offline, and I had to do like a full ABS.
And you point straight a little bit.
In front of everybody.
Yeah.
Like in front of... Because when me and Mike Austin was doing the laps on the first day, in the first half of both days, only me and Mike Austin are allowed on track. The whole rest of the editorial team does their round robin or whatever you call it, rotation of the cars in the afternoons because he's doing lap times and I'm doing videos, and they don't want other cars on track for either.
Yeah.
So which makes sense.
Yep.
So when I was driving that car and but while he's in the pits, they're getting a V-box in the next car. They're changing all that stuff over. That's when I go out, and I've got 10 minutes while they do that, and then I come in and he goes out. It's reasonably efficient. But I'm the only one on track, so everyone else has to stand around. They're all watching. No one is doing anything else. Don't cook it right there.
Yeah, and because then they're all sitting there going, I probably wouldn't have done that. And maybe, but I just know what. Schadenfreude.
Oh yeah, don't. I mean, it happens, and it does happen. Jethro fucking looped the Aventador last year 100 miles an hour and had a serious code brown. Although nothing was broken, he was really pushing.
Yeah, that's.
Did I say Aventador? Rivuelto.
Yeah, Rivuelto.
Yeah. But
perfection is impossible or very difficult.
When I fucking spun the ZR1, it was right in front of Mark Urbano. And I knew he was there. That's why I chose to do that. But I was just like, okay, we're going 360 and foot to the floor, banging rev limiter, did a couple 360s before continuing on. And he was doing the exit from the cloud of smoke. That piece of shit driving will probably be the cover shot or something.
Do they have extra tires for you for that stuff?
Yeah, the ZR, they sent a bunch.
Okay.
They sent... 5 sets of carbon wheels and tires.
Wow, okay. That's what I'm so jealous.
Someone told them Ferrari sent 7, yeah.
When we used to make the TV shows, it was rare that an OEM would send a set of tires. So we had to be much more careful with them. And I'm so jealous that you're just I'll just rip a couple 3s and then we'll swap these babies over.
It was, that was an end of the day one where it was okay, these, Mike, whoever's setting the lap times gets fresh tires. Mm-hmm. And then we'd use whatever's left at the end of the day. We swap them for the next day. So whoever else gets some fresh tires. And then occasionally they'll send 3 sets. Usually they'll send 1 extra set, a good one on the car, an extra one for the track, and then a set of road tires. Because they don't want you driving, 600 more miles on shot ass R compounds, which thank God. Some of them, the first road driving day after we did our last podcast, look at the GTD, it fucking pissed rain all day. And I have to give a lot of respect to the Multimatic wet driving traction control program because it did keep the car in line, although it was fucking misery.
Did you ever switch it to normal or whatever just to see the difference? And you went, oh, that's doing a lot.
Yeah. I could tell the difference. It really changes the throttle mapping as well. It dials down, the throttle position, which is good because I was on bumpy roads and it ride's kind of rough. So
a messy car.
It was a dirty, dirty girl, that car. This fucking thing that GTD had a week, man. And actually, I think we have we contributed. I don't see a reason not to say that we did this. No one gives a shit. The GTD came with 2 Multimatic babysitters, who were fucking pretty cool. I don't want to say their names just in case, but they were chill. They were a good time, and they didn't have to do anything. Like the car like behaved itself on the road, so they were just like sitting around. So on the road, we'd be like ripping this section of road that had fucking nobody on it. I mean, even by the standards of our canyons, like this road was awesome.
Was it above Thunder Hill?
It was
to the west.
No, it was to the west. It was
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
And so, but these guys, the car was working fine, so they didn't have to do shit. So they're chilling. So at some point, one of them mentions that they've never been in a Lamborghini, and I'm like, oh, well, like fucking, I got to go drive this one. Like, come for a ride. And then it was like, and then we're talking. He's like, yeah, the boss keeps getting on us because like the ZR1 beat us around the Nürburgring and whatever. I was like, oh, have you been in a ZR1? And they're like, no. And I was like, all right, well, you need to go in a ZR1. And they took him out, and he was like, oh fuck me.
He's like, oh, that's how it beat us.
Oh, that's what's happening. Like, and I was like, yeah, imagine you guys like started with a Corvette instead of starting with a Mustang. You might be there. But no, we took them for rides in a bunch of the cars, and so they really got a good like spread of knowledge about what everyone else is doing. So on behalf of Canada,
well, it's like some of the the manufacturer stuff, like they do rip cars apart, they drive the competition, but some of the engineers never get to, or they never get. We've talked about this with Corvette; they never get to drive their own cars.
Yeah.
So it's interesting to see who has experienced what. But hopefully that it does inform them a little bit when they go back to Multimatic.
And to be very clear, we weren't letting anybody drive any cars. They were just like going for rides and stuff. So it was pretty fun. It was a really good time. I very much enjoyed that. And then drove to Pebble Beach, a little golf with the old man. And yeah, 2,000 miles on that Audi RS3. Dude, that car, the brake fluid was really boiled after the second track day. And I had to drive it like 800 more miles. So the whole way home, I'm like, oh, this brake pedal is like so soft.
Was it really?
Yeah. And it wasn't. It's got carbon ceramic fronts, but 12 different people driving it on the track and then ripping on it pretty hard on the road. Like, the fluid was just toast. It needs a service and a flush and... but pretty good car, gotta be honest. No issues at all with it that wouldn't be totally expected given what it went through. And actually, it was really good on tires. We switched a set of tires once because we had them, and why not? But yeah, even after like my track day at Sonoma and about a track day and a half. We tripped from the end though. They had 2 full track days at Thunderhill. There was still like over 50% tire left, and like it's a press car. Like people were not being kind to it. They were trying like torque rear mode, slidey mode.
Yeah,
which it's cool. It's a novelty. It does help the car rotate through corners better than most. Front-wheel drive based all-wheel drive cars, but at the same time, it's a little inconsistent with how, like all of them. All of those ones are like the Focus RS and the Golf. They all like the way they actually shift the power to the rear in order to step the back out. You could do the same thing every lap, and on that corner where you want to do the slide, it will not behave exactly the same way, and that's frustrating.
Yeah, I think there's so much computing happening, And then if the grip changes slightly between inside rear, outside rear, because it's trying to send all that torque to outside rear.
Right.
If it hooks up too much because the tire's warm or something, like it can't spin it, doesn't rotate as much. It's just,
Totally.
It's very different from a rear-wheel drive based all-wheel drive system. That usually is a lot better at that.
Yeah. And you know what I did really enjoy was the Golf R. Folks, got to take one more quick break because support is coming in from TruWerk. Fall weather changes fast. It gets hot, it gets cold, it gets wet, it gets windy, it gets hot again, sometimes all in one shift or one hike. TruWerk is performance workwear built like it matters because it does. TruWerk is founded by a trained professional who was tired of wet, heavy gear weighing him down. TruWerk set out to make workwear that keeps pros comfortable, capable, and ready for whatever the day throws at them. Designed with advanced performance fabrics for lasting comfort, all-day mobility, and year-round job site protection. Every piece is tested on job sites with trade pros, so when conditions change, you're still ready. With over 50,000 five-star reviews from pros in every trade and every climate. I wore the TruWerk button-down T-shirt on my most recent trip because I packed it specifically for its temperature flexibility. I had absolutely no idea what the weather was going to be. It turns out it was going to be completely different than I packed for. I did not need to bring shorts at all. But my TruWerk overshirt was good for every single condition. It got hot. It got cold. It was excellent. You can get this gear too. Upgrade your day with workwear built like it matters. Get 15% off your first order at TruWerk.com with code TIRE. That's TRUEWERK.com, code TIRE. Also today, Smalls is coming in hot, and I love Smalls because Smalls loves my cats like I love my cats. We are one big happy family, and I was just gone for 2 weeks. They are so happy to see me again. They are sleeping in bed with me. They're sitting by the fire. It is fabulous, and I want them to live long, luxurious, happy, healthy lives. That's why I feed them Smalls. My cats, they can't live without it. It's so delicious. They prefer Smalls way more than the Fancy Feast, way more than the Blue Buffalo. I did the side-by-side taste tests. They all went to the Smalls. They've got fewer hairballs. They've got great energy, healthier weight, and they've got a very, very soft coat. My cats love me, and I've actually done a new thing where I used to, for a long time, I mean, really like 25 years of owning cats, I had all my cats eating from the same bowl. And they would eat one at a time from the same bowl. It was kind of an interesting thing. And then I saw in Jackson Galaxy's book to do 4 separate bowls and have them eat at the same time every day, morning and night for sort of better energy flow. And I actually did this with the Smalls, and now the cats are not eating dry food in between the wet food, Smalls, breakfast, and dinner. It's money. And I first used the Smalls as the topper to transition the cats to it, and now they are eating it twice a day, every day. It is great. So what are you waiting for? You can give your cat the food they deserve too. For a limited time, because you're a listener of The Smoking Tire, you can get 60% off your first order plus free shipping when you head to smalls.com/tire. That's smalls.com/tire. One last time, 60% off your first order plus free shipping when you head to smalls.com/tire. And now back to the show. Really enjoyed the Golf R. I didn't think I'd like it as much as I did. On the road, it was like really nice. The seats are fucking awesome.
Yeah, when I see those, I get tempted to make that. That would be a very practical switch.
That would be a good daily, for you, I think. They're like invisible. Mm-hmm. They put the dog in the back,
right?
Whatever.
And
those seats, the seats were dope. You know what they did with the seats that I like? They made them. They're shaped like heavily bolstered, but the bolstering isn't like super hard. So it's got a good bit of give, but then it's made of this grippy material. So in a lot of ways it uses the grip of the material to hold you without being like soup, but they look like buckety.
Yeah.
But it's like, it almost feels like a bucket seat made of like kind of like memory foam.
That material stuff matters a lot because now when I get into my car, I can't just slide into the seat. I get stuck on the wool. And I'm like, what's happening? Oh, right. It's just because the old leather was so smooth and shiny.
Yeah, I like the grippy seat.
I think it's going to be nice in the corners. Yeah.
The Volvo wool seats have the good the tensile
those
strength.
are shaped so well. I would put those in anything.
They said they would get us some fabric if we wanted to use. I was considering doing the Manx.
I want the whole seat.
Oh, the whole
I want
seat.
the whole. I want the shape of it, the whole thing with the wool tweed, and just.
Well, can we like
take it from a?
Can we like Copart?
Yeah, probably
Copart in an XC90.
Someone definitely crashed an XC90 leaving their third house.
Do the seats have airbags in them?
Yes,
like in the seat.
I bet they do.
I think they probably do.
I think most seats do these days. I think a lot of them do.
Okay.
So I think
the side curtain. Comes from the seat.
I think in some cars, yes.
Okay.
Like
yeah. Sometimes it's here or here. Like
my car, it's in the door.
Yeah.
But some cars you'll see there's an air if you're removing the seat, you have to turn off the battery and disable that plug because otherwise the airbag will go off in your face.
Right.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
So having it'd be funny as fuck if you had a side impact airbag in your Manx but nothing in the front.
That's some safety. But now I have a crate. Very excited about my crate.
Did you post a photo?
No,
it looks nice.
I didn't.
Oh,
I sent those pictures to Ali.
Okay.
To tell him what a genius I was.
I'm the engineer now.
Did I talk about this on the previous show? I don't know if I did. The problem with using the Manx as a daily driver is that the shelf behind the seats, which has plenty of space for like a duffel bag or a couple of duffel bags probably. If you put like groceries or whatever back there, it slides around. There's nothing containing the stuff. And so I wanted to look cool. And so there's like a bunch of different like utility boxes you can put back there, but they all looked like, a little contractory. So I got on Etsy for like, not a lot of money, like a 60-year-old melon crate, like a farmer's crate that happens to be like almost exactly the right size to fit that compartment. And they had put these beautiful like polished aluminum strap downs on either side of that shelf because I also have a cooler with like a Velcro strap for it. And so I've lost some weight and I have two belts that are too big. And they're belts I wore for like a long time, so they're pretty weathered and worn in. So I was able to like make these leather straps for my wooden crate, and now I can put groceries back there.
That's great.
And I've got some like real rubber feet, so the crate doesn't like scrape around on the thing. Yeah,
I think it's the right size because then on either side of the crate you can put jackets and stuff.
Yeah, there's
like
still
if
a
you
little
filled
room.
it out too much, it would be too big.
Yeah. And I'm like, oh, this is cool. I'll post pictures on Instagram like later, but it's pretty cool. I'm into it. That was a good move, and you can just take it out, just undo the belts, and take it out in 2 seconds.
Yeah,
it's nice,
very cool.
And then you can put the belts in the crate.
It looks rustic.
It does look rustic.
Yeah. It seems like a very light crate.
Yeah, and they're also making me a pouch that goes down by your left knee because there's like nowhere to put anything. Like my keys or whatever. Like there's I need just somewhere to put something.
Yep.
So
you need that.
Just a little pouch.
Yeah.
And then we'll be done with that. Then we can drive it just fiend.
Done?
Well, done in terms of the customization portion of it. They're did we talk about the further development they're doing? So the problem that they have been unable to solve thus far is the temperatures at highway speeds,
right?
Which they've been able to mitigate somewhat, but not solve to this point. So if I drive my car at over 60 miles an hour, it will overheat in like 10 or 15 minutes of driving at that speed.
Right, and they were going to cut the under tray or something.
They did
right?
that.
Okay,
they did that, and it didn't do enough. It improved it 5 degrees. They needed to get it maybe 25 degrees. So what they're doing now is a front mount. There is if you look at my car from the front and whatever, there's an area where you could put a front license plate. Like there's a cutout, like it's underneath the little chrome bar, And so they've developed a really nice little smooth little grate that goes there. And it's a loop where the two radiators are in series. So it goes from the engine all the way to the front, hot coolant, goes all the way to the front, cools down at the front, comes back, goes to the big one in the back, and then goes back to the engine there. So it goes a further distance, and it gets that front mount, which at higher speed is what you need. At low speeds, the big one has been totally bulletproof. I've sat in horrific traffic jams, and it's fucking ace in traffic. Like, that's not a problem. The problem is airflow. So,
well, when you're moving, maybe there's an air pocket, and so cold air's not getting to that larger one, right?
Right. There's just the problem with a Manx is at speed, the entire back half of the vehicle is like in a vacuum.
Right.
It's silly. I mean, it just is. And so they've done as much as they can do with keeping everything at the back, but it's still not enough. And so now we're going with the front, which... okay, so we're going to get that. And there's some other things that they have re-engineered for different reasons that we will also get. We will be getting all retrofits while we continue. Fortunately, like, none of this stuff has actually kept me from driving the car. It's still a good time.
Yeah. Well, because you're not driving on the highway much.
Yeah.
Like, you're not
I can go from
miles.
here to Malibu, and that's all I really need to do. That's as far as I need to go in that car.
Cool. Correction, airbags will not go off if you disconnect the sensor. Someone corrected me. I was like, I'm spreading forum myth.
Fake forum myth news.
Oh, I have a radial engine story for you, but I need to someone sent me an Instagram, and they're like, hey, do you know the most powerful rotary engine ever made, or radial engine ever made?
It's got to be from an airplane.
It is.
Yeah.
And it's humongous.
Is it like 20 liters or something?
Yeah, it's one of those things. Maybe I can just Google it really
While
quick.
you're looking for it, I went to the National Automobile Museum in Reno on this particular trip, and they had this weird car from like 1910 or something, 1915 maybe, that was a radial engine, but not like one I'd ever seen. The entire engine spun horizontally.
What?
Yeah. Imagine the whole block and heads spun like a fucking top. This was one of the worst designs.
Where did you see this?
At the National Automobile Museum in Reno.
Had they like locked the crankshaft down and they were showing you how the engine works, but when it's mounted in something, like when it's mounted in a car, did the whole engine spin?
Yes. They showed. They have a car. They have a car with an engine in it. They have another engine on a stand as a backup, because you need a backup. And they have a video of the car running, and the engine is spinning. The whole engine spins. It idles at like 500 RPM and red lines at 1800 RPM. Any faster than that, it would like come apart. But think about how fast 1800 RPM is when it's your entire engine spinning.
What in the fuck?
Yeah.
What did they say was the reasoning for that?
Well, it stays cool. You have these very small fins on the cylinder heads, but the engine itself is fucking whipping.
Yeah, that seems dangerous. That seems wildly dangerous.
Yeah, of course. It was incredibly dangerous.
All right, so
it was the time they were building steam cars. Those things were like on fire. Like, what's more dangerous?
That's a good point. I mean,
everything was so.
And locomotives have all the exposed parts, so they're like, it's the same.
Everything was so dangerous. Okay, Pratt & Whitney R.
All right.
4360 Wasp Major. What are we talking about here?
4,300 horsepower.
Fuck yeah.
The largest displacement aviation piston engine mass produced.
Does that say 71 liters?
Yes, sir. 71.5 liters.
Oh, wow.
4,300 horsepower.
Cylinder, 4-row radial piston aircraft engine. Wow. The fuck did you go in?
The Manx to end all Manx.
Wait. Hang on a minute. Yeah. Its main rival was the twin-row 18-cylinder 54-liter Wright R350, 3,700 horsepower.
That's the Cuck engine. Look at this.
Wow, what a little bitch.
Yeah.
Fucking 54 liters.
Although power per liter, I think, is higher on this, right?
Oh yeah, maybe. Yeah,
54 liters, 3,700 horsepower.
All right, can you what are the major applications? The Boeing B-50 Super Fortress. Can we see what those look like?
Ooh, a Stratofreighter.
So these are big. Wow. Yeah. Okay. These are think of the planes that have those big like greenhouse looking fucking canopies
with gun turrets all over it.
Yeah, turrets and shit. That's what you find.
Memphis Belle type stuff. And I wonder if we can.
Man, I bet that. What was that biggie? That big fucking guppy looking one you just had up. The Strato something or other. Super Fortress. Is that it?
This thing?
No, the other one. I don't know. The other one seemed like it had that one. Stratofreighter. Look at that. The cockpit on that must have the most beautiful view of the world.
It's extremely phallic looking as well.
It's what? It's strongly phallic.
Well, because so many planes, they taper more from the front, and this is just like, it's got like a blimp face.
Yeah, the fuselage looks like a dildo.
But I understand you're saying you have this very tall vertical windshield.
Yeah, look how many windows there are. There's got to be like 16 windows on the front.
That's pretty cool,
right? So I bet that's like flying a plane with like a floor to ceiling windshield. Yeah. That must be so fucking sick. Can you see if you can find interior cockpit view from this aircraft? Of the Stratofreighter. No, not this one, the other one.
The Strato.
You have a real problem with this today. There we go. The Stratofreighter. C-97. We need an interior cockpit view. I bet that's fucking amazing. But yeah, so that has 4 of those engines. 4,000 horsepower. Oh, yeah. Cool. It's floored. Look, the windows go all the way down below his feet.
Wow.
That is a floor to ceiling, just a wall of glass.
That's pretty cool.
Man, what a view to fly from, huh? I bet that's awesome. Just up there, the windows open, just ripping heaters.
That's true. This is back in the 40s.
Yeah, dude, they're not dogfighting this. This is a freight plane. They're not dogfighting this fucking thing.
They're just moving heavy stuff.
Yeah, there's an ashtray every like 18 inches in that motherfucker.
So I want to see. Oh, here you go.
Yeah, what a great view.
That's cool.
Yeah. I bet that was fucking great. You think those have autopilot on it, or you think those guys are steering the whole time? It's probably
I think back then autopilot was like, mechanical. I bet something
just like
hold the stick. I don't know. That's a good question.
Yeah. Some pilot will tell us. Okay, 2 things. One, we talked a couple shows about my search for an actual a sneaker-like driving shoe that would pass tech in an actual race.
Yes.
And it led me to the New Balance Pit Crew shoe, which is out of production.
Okay, yes, because when you brought it up on that show, I had ordered these racing shoes, and I was like, that's really interesting. These look cool. I might get these instead.
Yeah.
And the only ones I could find were an 8.5, 8.5 on eBay. And I went, where the fuck are these shoes?
Yeah.
So I was wondering where you got them.
Out of production.
Okay.
So I actually a website let me order them and then kicked back and said out of production. I was like, oh, take them off your fucking website, idiot.
Yeah.
So anyway, OMP makes a pit crew shoe, and this is it. And I don't know the model, but if you just look up OMP pit crew shoe, it's very similar to the New Balance shoe. I'm going to try to put my orthotics in it because it's not quite New Balance arch support, but it really does feel mostly like a sneaker, and it has a pretty good toe flexibility. Like, I would probably want to wear this around town for a few days before actually racing in it, just because you might want to like a little more flex in the toe. So I may just wear this for a few days, but really comfortable, SFI rated, true to size. Cool. This is the right size.
I see it.
And if you are thinking about getting a driving shoe and you don't like how fucking narrow and stupid, especially with endurance racing, because you're wearing them for 24 hours, you're walking on the paddock. My knees feel like they're going to explode if I wear.
I wouldn't wear them, but once I'm out of the car, unless I have to help with fuel, I change shoes.
I'm hanging out. I got to help. I just end up leaving them on all day because I'm lazy.
Then this might be the idea. Yeah.
But and if you're not racing like little formula cars, like we're driving a car that has a street car pedal box. So like I don't need some fucking tiny little shoes.
True. But isn't the car you're driving... Oh, it's M3.
It's an M3.
So it's manual transmission.
I mean, it turns out, this is a DCT car.
Oh, okay.
But still, like I still, for anything I'm driving on track, I don't want little narrow shoes.
The Sparkos I have fit my wide foot really nice. But I understand if I was driving, the cars I was driving at Lemons, I wish I had this wide foot box to heel toe like this.
Yeah, because you do left side, right side,
Definitely,
right? Yeah. Some people do actual heel and actual toe.
I did because I had to with those shoes.
I would prefer to not do that.
Yeah.
I'd prefer to drive like I normally drive because I'm fucking racing. I want that to be a faster version of how I normally drive. I don't want to relearn my footwork for a fucking in a competitive situation.
It came back quick, but it was less perfect and required more thought. Yeah. However, the MGB I drove, the gas pedal, I am not exaggerating.
Zach has grabbed a bottle cap.
A bottle cap. The gas pedal was a square version of this size.
What?
Because they hammered out the trans to fit the bigger transmission. And so the gas pedal, they just used this tiny piece of metal. But all of us came back in. It was impossible to heel toe it. And we're like, can we just add a second bottle cap to the left? And then it would be money.
Yeah.
But I understand, like, they shrunk it in every direction. And I don't think they shrunk it vertically. I think that's what it came as, was like this adorable tiny bottle cap. It was, you couldn't heel toe it because there's nothing down there.
Oh, man. Last show, Zach showed me a photo of what looked to be almost the perfect vintage race car. And then he told me what it was like to drive.
All you have to do is tap the brakes twice per turn.
5 hard gnaws in there.
Oh, it was a good time.
And, yeah, wait.
There was sorry, go ahead.
No.
There's a story from Lemons I forgot, which is that next door to us in the garages was a sim racing team. They were like 15 people at least. They had matching shirts. I don't remember the name of the team. I want to say they were all very nice.
Yeah.
So I'm going to make a little bit of fun of them, but it's just done in jest. They got matching, like sponsored, Under Armour shirts. There's also a huge light because they're shooting and filming a bunch of shit. There's people on the team that are working their way up to driving. They're like helping wrench manage the team, whatever. They have Miata. I arrive Friday evening. I missed practice and whatever. That's fine. Their engine had exploded.
Oh, no.
They had been driving in practice, and the engine had gone kaboom. But lucky for them, there's a race shop at Buttonwillow. They happened to have a Miata engine there, and they were being paid. The race shop was like, we'll install it for you tonight. It will cost whatever. So that was happening.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, wow. I can't believe you guys blew up a Miata engine. First of all, it's hard, but like they showed me the pieces, and they were big pieces had flown out of the engine. So they get a new engine. And these folks weren't just like writing a check. Like in the morning, some of them were under the car doing other stuff, buttoning things up. So I go out, I start the race. I'm in the MG. They're out there also. I think within 20 minutes, I start seeing white smoke coming from their tailpipe. And that smoke trail grows and grows and grows. And then soon they're not on the track anymore. They had popped second Miata engine, which seems impossible. I just don't know how that, like, one of the most reliable cars in the world. I felt bad for them because they had this whole crew there. But like they were probably just surprised you couldn't just hit restart, on the game. Like,
that's a bummer.
It was such a bummer. How do you put... Maybe they just got really unlucky with the engines that were in there. I don't know if they were super high mileage Miata engines or what.
It could be bad luck. Mm-hmm. Certainly one could be bad luck.
First seemed like
the
bad
first
luck.
one could be bad luck.
Yeah.
The second one, unknown provenance, could have possibly could have been on a ticking time bomb potentially.
Maybe. Yeah. I think it dropped. I heard them say like it dropped a valve into something and then.
Could also, a bunch of people who race on computers, maybe they're not so good at stick shift driving.
I don't know. I wasn't close enough ever to hear.
Maybe it was fine, and then someone fucking money shifted it and didn't tell anybody. I don't know.
I did pass them in the MG, which made me feel amazing.
Yeah.
But I'm sure they were just getting used to their car. So.
Oh, it sucks.
Yeah.
What a bummer. I think I was on a team once that blew 2 transmissions in a race, and
that was the last time you did endurance racing.
Pretty shitty. Yeah, no, I that was the last time I said I would get on a plane to go anywhere to do endurance racing, which again, I'm about to do in a month. But that's Coda, and it's a little more serious car. So.
Well, trauma plus time equals comedy. So that was what? How long ago was that race you did with the double trans? 6 years?
19, probably. Yeah, 19.
Yeah.
I think, mid-Ohio.
You're going to have so much fun.
It was a bummer, yeah. Let's see. Right. So, Dylan Optics, our sponsor for 15 years, is under new ownership. And we have been dropped as an advertiser after 15 years, which I'm not upset about. I understand. I'd rather have had an advertiser for 15 years and be dropped under new ownership than to not have had them at all. I do wish our person there had maybe given us a heads up so we wouldn't have ordered that extra round of T-shirts for them to include with glasses. Like, so close to it. But
they should send us a consolation minigun.
Yeah,
for the T-shirts.
But they wiped their website, and there's all new like glasses. They got rid of all the old styles, and so I really had liked these 2 pairs. So these are the last 2 pairs of these, and I thought if you wanted one, you can have one. I know you like these.
Which ones are they? I still have 2.
Do you have 2 like new?
I still have
in-box?
2 newish in box. Okay, yeah, because I had
these are the like these styles.
Oh yeah, I have. You can keep. I have these exact ones. I have a white one and I have a black one right now.
Okay, and they're in good shape.
Yeah, they're in good shape.
Okay, cool. Because man, this is. I'm treating these like
end of an era.
These are the last, like the sponges. Like I have to be like, do I want to bring these glasses?
Are these Dylan worthy?
Because it's not like they were just paying me to wear this stuff. They didn't even pay us all that much. We really just enjoyed wearing the glasses.
It's true.
These are my jam.
Yeah. Yeah, those pairs are for you for sure.
I offered to buy the last of them, and they said that they would include them.
And if you're out there and you work at a sunglasses company and you want to have your sunglasses featured in every single video we do
forever, yeah,
hit us up on Instagram.
Yeah, so that's fun. Not really, but we got two last pairs of
17
glasses.
years with them, right?
2010.
So 15 years. All right.
Yeah. Well, they win the record for longest advertiser by a lot. And then before we get to questions with the people, we're doing a really good event with Road and Track. If you want to come drive with me in November. It's going to be first week of November. Actually, you could fucking double header hang out with me if you want, because we're going to the Hilton Head Concourse. I've never been. It's in Hilton Head, South Carolina, right near where my folks' place is. So me and the old man are going to go hang out at the Hilton Head Concourse for a day or two. Come on down, say hello. That'll be fun. Play a little golf. And then we've got right after that, starting in Atlanta, the Blue Ridge 500, which has got, for the first time ever, 2 track days. We've got Porsche Experience Center, driving Porsches. We've got Atlanta Motorsports Park, driving your own cars. We've got some fabulous hotels. We've got Tail of the Dragon, Cherahalla Skyway, and an amazing drive route from Knoxville to Nashville. I ran it in a 911S last month, and it was absolutely fabulous. And actually, I'm driving it in something even better. So if you want to come drive with me, sign-ups are open now, but there's I think 4 spots left. Ooh. Maybe it's this one's going to fill up. It's maybe 4 spots left, and down in Georgia and North Carolina and Tennessee. It's going to be super, super fun. Experiences.roadandtrack.com. Should we go to the people? We've left the patrons hanging for a while. I don't know. Did we get much patron? We didn't do. We did 0
patron questions last time, but these are the questions that were posted on that show.
Oh, from that.
So
okay.
I saved them.
Do you need that water? Can I have it?
You can drink it.
Okay. All right. If you want to ask us questions for the show, catch the live stream, get the show before everybody else, get the show without ads, or get extra show, patreon.com/The Smoking Tire Podcast is where you do all of that. And let's see what they have to say. Explorer, I hardly knew her, says, I'm looking at the new Prelude. I'm not sure who this vehicle is for. Who wants a sporty GT economy coupe with a hybrid Atkinson powertrain linked up to a CVT? I'm hearing it's starting at $40K also. I don't see the market. What am I missing? Zach, do you have thoughts on the new Prelude?
No. I think it's a surprising move considering it's a coupe and we're seeing coupes sold less and less. The news is saying it's a big hit with mature men in Japan.
So it's the new Solera.
Yes.
Is that what you're saying?
I think that's what we're saying.
I have to say, it looks weird. Nice. You think it looks weird? I think it's nice.
I think it looks like a mid-engine. The profile of it looks mid-engine, which it's not.
Yeah.
So I think it's a little, I don't know.
That's fair. It does look mid-engine.
It's not the Prelude's fault. Like, look, pedestrian crash standards, so you have the super rounded hood we're used to. And then actually, I bet if you put it next to a Mustang, it would actually have a pretty similar profile. Maybe just a little shorter in the front. I don't think it's like amazing looking, but it's just it's the times. I hope it's fun.
Haven't seen one in person. So
yeah,
I don't really
matters.
know.
I don't know, CVT, hybrid powertrain, coupe.
I mean, look, it's not for me.
Right.
So maybe they see a market that I don't know for that car.
I hope.
There's fucking Soleras around. Like they sold those things. There's a bunch of them around. So they're for somebody.
Yep. True.
Yeah. What else do we have? Bush did 997. What are some of your scariest moments in a car? Scariest? I mean, the times I've crashed. Like,
yeah. No, hearing when you didn't mean to make that sound.
Sure. Now I was paired up with a Mexican like radio broadcaster for the Lexus RCF launch and the drive portion of it. And she was a frighteningly bad driver. And, you know, there's only so much you can say when you're in the car. But suffice to say, at the driver change, when it became my turn to drive, I found it was very easy to just tell her what to put in her story about the car so that she didn't have to drive anymore. And that was the end of it. So the scariest part only lasted about 20 minutes, but she was a very, very bad driver.
Riding with people you don't trust and that are doing things wrong is a very concerning moment.
Yeah, that was the last time I'm a little bit of a dick about it now. If I go on press launches and it's a shared thing, I will only go if I can approve the person I'm sharing a car with. And I assume not everybody does that, but like, sorry, like, been in too many scary situations with people, and I'm not naming names, but like, no.
Well, there was that famous story. The journalist wrote the story about crashing a McLaren in the passenger seat. Like, you know, another journalist could cause you a big problem.
Mm-hmm. Rolex LT Lariat King Ranch. Besides a minivan, what very pedestrian car have either of you driven thinking, wow, this is way more fun than I imagined it would be? For me, it was a bone stock base manual Mazda 2. Yeah, those are actually all right. Mazda 2s are not bad.
There was a spec series for a while with those. Honda Fit.
Honda Fits
a lot.
Honda Fits are good.
Really good.
Way more fun. I mean, I don't know about fun, but like the Lexus ES350 F Sport is pretty not terrible.
That car is stuck in my terrible memory as a great thing to drive.
Those are pretty decent, actually. Yep. Yeah.
They drift well too. They do.
I mean, like basic ass like Hondas from the 1990s, like Civics with double wishbones, is like the Civic hatches and shit. Like them things rip. I drove a Skyline, like a small one of the ones that was like the 2-liter turbo, and that was pretty fun. That was a nice car to drive. Like if I was going to go through the trouble of getting a Skyline, I'd want to get that. But like that's a nice little car. That was cool. 4K Libya. What is the yellow dial watch I wear? Rolex Oyster Perpetual 41 yellow. It's nice. I like it very much too. It's bright colors. Live Axel Rose says lots of people have tried to remake Top Gear, but no one has tried to remake the radio show Car Talk, where callers call in about their automotive issues. Car Talk is what got me hooked on cars and thought it would be a good podcast format to reboot. Who would be your pick? Mine would be Freddie and Rich Benoit. Yeah, those are good
choices.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think either of those guys want to fucking diagnose people's cars by phone. We're doing that. This is what this is. We just don't have to like actually do the phone bit. We can read the comment here.
I also wonder.
It's not mechanical.
I wonder if the number of questions, meaning like, has gone down because so many cars are computer controlled in so many ways. Like a lot of the questions on Car Talk where I'm hearing this sound, or now if it feels weird, if it drives weird, if there's a clunk, sure, you can still call about that. That's still a thing. But nowadays it's like plug in the computer and see what it says.
Scan it. Uli Kunkel's Autobahn. Love it. Love it. I own a 2020 BMW M240 convertible that I would like to give to my college-age daughter. The wife says it's too dangerous and isn't having it. NTSB crash fatality data doesn't imply convertibles are more dangerous than coupes or sedans. In fact, they may be more safe. Who is right here, and how do I win this one? Okay, so specifically, your wife is saying it's too dangerous because it's a convertible, not because it's like a really fast like BMW.
Well, that's what we're assuming. The wife may have provided more information that the editor here is not giving us.
Maybe, yes, but the implication is coupes versus convertibles. I mean, you're talking about really rollover. And I'm pretty sure that BMW has pop-up roll hoops in the event of a rollover, and it will have a very strong A-pillar. So, I mean, there might be some incrementally small risk of, like, decapitation if you drive, like, under a semi or something without, like, a Jane Mansfield situation without – does it not have rollover hoops?
I'm looking.
Oh, okay. But I don't think it's inherently more dangerous because it's a convertible. I wouldn't if I don't have kids, but I would not put.
It does have a rollover bar because there's a YouTube video called "How to Remove Rollover Bar."
Yeah, I wouldn't if it was. There are certain convertibles like I understand that make you think that, but this is a modern
Miata. Older Miatas that didn't have a pop up bar, so if you were taller than that seat, or if the seat gave way, like you're having a problem.
Yeah. But I wouldn't worry about it in this car in particular.
No.
Yeah.
I would wager that the crash fatality data might be because I bet convertibles are owned by older people in general, and they're probably getting less accidents. Yeah.
I think it's probably fine. I think they're more likely to get broken into if they're left outside.
Yes.
That's one thing I would be
and that's a really expensive repair.
Yeah, I'd be much more concerned about that than what would happen in a crash with a convertible. Matt's big, beautiful engine bill. I love it, but also I hate it.
Yeah.
Only one of those is bullshit. Hey guys, what's up with this Instagram page called Angela's Death Highway? Is it someone poking fun or someone who doesn't fit into a club lashing out? It just seems odd. I think it's satire. Yeah. It's like AI slop satire, but apparently did you see I was lampooned in the second one?
I did see it.
Fortunately, it's just that I have cats.
You have cats.
I have cats.
Yeah. And the person, the AI person didn't look at all like you.
No.
I didn't know it was supposed to be you until it was like in front of a pink convertible Porsche talking about cats.
Yeah. Which okay, fine. I'm not upset that someone has put and to say he has cats. Like, all right, fine, whatever. Okay. Obviously it's someone poking fun. Mm-hmm. Maybe someone who truly doesn't like someone, although I thought even the one poking fun of Magnus was like fairly lighthearted and innocent.
I thought that was funny.
The first one you sent me the first one, which I did think was actually like pretty funny.
Yeah, there's some clever writing in there.
Yeah.
The guy that runs it, I don't know who he is, I will say that. But he DM'd me and he said that he's going to start asking permission to lampoon people instead of just doing it, which is probably a smart idea.
So then it's probably someone who's genuinely just trying to be funny and not someone who's actually got a problem with something.
Because I think the way there's a video where they poke fun at the Angeles Crest crowd, the Newport crowd, and the track crowd.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, so they know SoCal car culture.
Yeah.
They're making fun of they're not this isn't a track person who's making fun of only Canyon people. Like they're encompassing the whole world.
I thought it was pretty funny.
That was pretty funny.
Yeah, I was. I mean, I was not offended by it.
The Newport Beach one was so funny. It was like, I can't believe Porsche sells cars to these people that buy them.
The one, what was the one line I used? Oh my God, it was a couple days ago when you sent it to me. One of those lines, I was like dying. Oh my God, it was great. But I thought it was funny. I'm on the LIE to hell. That's fucking good. If you could burden your co-host with a 70s, 80s era neoclassical car as their daily for a year, in honor of the Stutz Duesenberg at Pebble.
Well, we want to give. Are we giving each other a bad car or a 70s, 80s car that we would like?
Well, so you know what a neoclassical car is? Like like an Excalibur.
Oh, okay. Right.
Like I would want an Excalibur. I would want you to have an Excalibur.
They're so funny.
They're the best. I mean, they're the best ones of those, right?
I would give you the car that my neighbor had. He moved out now, but it was a coach builder in Santa Barbara in the 70s. And at the time, the cars were $200,000. It was called like a Cavallina or something. But it has like a Ford 302 in it.
Yeah.
It sounds good.
Yeah.
It sounds like a Fox body, but it looks like an Excalibur.
There's a guy in my neighborhood that has a Cord. It looks like a 30s Cord, but it was built in the 70s, like under license.
Those are cool.
Yeah, it was kind of neat. Those have you seen the? There's a guy who's got a boat tail speedster replica in Malibu, the black silver one.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's not. I don't like replicas really, but like I'd if I was forced to roll something like that, I would roll that.
What about I give you a Legends car? That's neoclassical, not street legal in Florida.
Yeah. I tried to get a Legends car last minute for Performance Car of the Year. I think we're going to have to do it now. Because we wanted like a wild card.
Yes.
Oh, well, yeah.
Wild card. Yeah.
Well, you should see what we found.
Oh, okay.
The wild card that we wanted kind of fell through.
Okay.
So we got, do you know that Segway makes a stand-up scooter, like Razor style scooter, or Bird scooter style scooter, called the GT3 that has full suspension, big disc brakes, like mountain bike brakes. It's two-wheel drive.
What?
And in eco mode, supposedly, grain of salt, goes 100 kilometers on range. But in like race mode, it will do 50 miles an hour.
And it's a stand-up scooter.
Yes.
That's wild. Have you seen the like the Razor scooter racing things?
Yes.
With like full leathers and stuff.
Well, so Emmett White, who writes for Road and Track, got himself a set of like Alpine Stars MotoGP leathers and fucking ran laps of Thunder Hill in this thing.
Awesome. Did he ever fall?
He did not fall.
Good. Yeah, good.
A few of us rode it. It's basically almost unrideable in like race mode. In sport mode, I would describe it as hairy. But then we were like finishing up and they're like to Segway, like, hey, how do we get this thing back to you? And they're like, just hang on to it. Everyone else is flying home. I'm driving home. I've got a car. It folds.
Holy
it fit
shit.
in the back seat of the RS3. And now we have a Segway GT3.
Awesome.
It is.
Hey.
It fucking rips. This thing is so, and I brought it. It was in the back of the car, so I brought it to Pebble Beach, you know. And I didn't want to like drive around for the weekend with it in the back, so I had the hotel like put it with where the golf bags go. And then I woke up early the Monday morning. We were gonna leave, but Hannah had to do a work call from 7:30 to 9, and I had the scooter was there, and they're really cool at the hotel. And I was like, I don't have anything to like do. I was like, hey, let me get the scooter out. And I got the scooter out and fucking threw it in sport mode. And I rode like 6-7 miles, a 17-mile drive. I like went down to the lodge and like got coffee and like fucking did a bunch of looped it around. And I was like, oh, this thing is great. It was so fun.
That's very cool.
Yeah.
Oh,
so now we have that.
A good time. Mm-hmm. Perfect. My car's out of commission. So.
And you'll get to see the lap time, how it compares to an actual 911 GT3. And a Performance Car of the Year. Racing Bulls on Parade. Currently driving cross country in my friend's Elise. OMG.
It's just
wait.
that.
Oh, wait, they just want to, we want to snake our way through Tucson, end up in Vegas before spending time in L.A. Oh, wow. Well, this was from last week.
Oh, they're done.
They're probably done. I hope you made it, and I hope you have a good physical therapist and possibly neurosurgeon. I needed both after I did that very drive. Isaiah Stanley, what are the best 80s to 90s drivers' cars under $100,000? Air-cooled 911s, an SC, probably. Corvette ZR1.
Mm-hmm.
Get like a 95, 96 Corvette ZR1 for sure. You could probably get you could put 15,000 miles on a Ferrari 328.
Could you get a 348 for that money?
You get a 308, 328, or 348 for that money.
That's a lot of cool car.
You could also probably get a 360 F1 probably with miles on it and put some more miles on it, and they would be cheap.
You could get any E30 pretty much, which would be pretty nice.
You could get a mid-years NSX and put 50. You buy 100,000 mile NSX or 115,000 miles, and you drive for 2 years, sell it with 130.
Mm-hmm.
That's the same, basically, for the market. You keep it nice.
Mark IV Supra, those just take miles, no problem.
Yeah, they're not as engaging to me, but
they're not.
You could get an R30, a pretty good R32 Skyline. That would be good. Yeah, lots of options. 100K is a lot of money. You can get well, it's too new, but I mean, you get a great 996 turbo that's like 02. You could get, you can get a great E46 M3. You get a great E39 M5.
You could get an
E30 M3.
Or what was the E36 M5?
The E34.
E34.
Yeah,
those are cool.
Those are fun. Yeah, there's a lot of options in that price band. Columbia presents the coking tire. All right, a lot of words in this one. You know what I mean?
Real chatty.
Recommendations for a luxury sedan to replace a Giulia Quad. Had it for a year, a little too hardcore for daily use. Looking at maybe hot rod E-Class models. Looking for a luxury four-door, physical buttons for climate and radio, up to $60K. Huh.
I'll look up the interior of this E-Class.
All right, you're not going to like this. Genesis G70. Rear drive, twin turbo V6. Better interior than the Alpha.
True.
Mostly real buttons.
True.
Pretty fast. Doesn't sound bad. Those are all right. Used E-Classes. That's like the 2013 to 15 or so.
Yeah, that's what they're talking about with the 212. So, I mean, that's a good choice. That's a fun, noisy choice. The Genesis is a really nice car. I drove one of those for a week.
Yeah. You get one of those new.
Yeah. That's a good point.
The one we drove was like $53,000, brand new.
Yeah, keep the warranty for sure.
Yeah.
That's a nice car.
You may not like this. Physical buttons for climate and radio. $60K. How about a lightly used CT4V Blackwing?
Oh yeah.
If you could find one of those.
Yeah. Because they still have the same piano across the middle. Yeah, that's a good car.
They have the buttons.
I'd rather have that than the Genesis is a nicer interior. Like, it looks more opulent.
Yeah.
But I think there's fewer screens and haptic stuff in the Cadillac.
Yes. CT4 Blackwing would be all right. Hawk Tuatara.
So good.
That rules. Man, did that chick disappear quickly, huh?
She's getting investigated by the SEC.
Yeah, I mean, thou shalt not do a rug pull. It seems. I thought, that's funny. CoffeeZilla told me that there weren't laws, but maybe that's not entirely true.
I think if you're very powerful, there are not laws.
Oh,
if you're Hawk to a girl.
That's right.
Yeah.
If you're the president, you can do that. You're not if you're I see. When pulling away from a stop in a manual transmission car, do you let off the clutch by rocking your foot back on your heel first, or just pulling your whole foot back with your leg?
I always rock my foot back unless I'm driving a car where the ergonomics require full leg movement, like old trucks. Usually, like your foot is aimed downward, or sorry, your leg is so vertical that you can't rock your foot. You just have to pull your leg back.
Yeah, I mean, I pull my toes up and then my whole foot follows.
Usually. I lean my foot back until I usually find the friction point.
Yeah.
And then by that point, I also want to move my leg for comfort.
It also depends if the friction point is low or high.
True.
If it's low, then you can kind of do that. If it's high, you have no real choice but to lift your entire foot. I adapt to the vehicle, and it depends on the vehicle more than it depends on my personal desire. The Polestar's Polestar. I want a splash of color in my life to tide me over until I turn in my chalk Macan and get a yellow Blackwing next year. Good for you with the fucking... See, the problem with that yellow is it's called cyber yellow. You can't tell anybody that, but it still does look cool. It was the color of the press car I drove. It was fun. I've been trying to hunt down the purple version of a Notice Sector. Oh, a watch. Okay. What other... there wasn't a purple version of a Notice. Oh, a Sector GMT. What other brands have a decent purple dial? I don't know, man. That's a...
For that money, they should go to that same watch page we've talked about.
Go to Horology Lab and just have a custom...
Well, you could totally do that. That's actually a great idea. I was going to say the LA watch show that happened, we've referred to it a bunch of times. This is right in that price point, and on that page... The splash page was all with all the brands.
Yeah, the Intersect LA page. Yeah, I want to help. I should have read this to myself before reading it out loud. But I can't access that. What brands have a good purple? Like I as a colorblind guy, I can't access that part of my brain. Sorry. Steel beams melt jet fuel. Okay. Does it make sense to keep watches on winders versus letting the power reserve run out? I am a big fan of letting the watch run out. The only reason I would keep a watch on a winder is if it had some real complicated movement, like a perpetual calendar or something, where if it stopped moving, it would be a real pain in the ass to set it again. So those are the only watches I've ever kept on winders, was a perpetual. The other ones, they die. You pick them up when it's time to wear them, you set them, you wind them, and then you're good to go. So I let them die. Yeah. Okay, sorry. Curtis Bowman says, what would be the race series or singular race we would run if we were given a free entry and could pick the car you would drive as well? Could be hill climb, rally, endurance, whatever. I'd want to do either Mille Miglia, Targa Newfoundland, Targa Florio, or like Targa Tasmania. A far away road rally with some closed sections.
Yeah, I think I would lean toward the Targas because I feel like the cars are more modern and faster. The Mille Miglia now seems like a parade with some craziness mixed into it, but the cars are also very old.
Yeah, I mean, if we're talking fantasy cars, then you and I are in a Ferrari 250 Testarossa, fucking ripping.
Right. If the roads are closed, that'd be magical.
If it's like reality, like yes, we get a free entry, but we have to like have a car that's like attainable for like regular people. I mean, I think the answer is Safari 911.
Safari 911 on one of the Targas?
Yeah.
That'd be cool. Yeah. Those cars move around a little bit.
And or like, if it's, are those full tarmac or they're dirt sections?
I don't know. I think it varies. I think Newfoundland is all tarmac. I think it's surface streets.
I'd want to do a mixed surface. Yeah. It has to be mixed surface.
Yeah.
And that rally that Zwart does.
The Colorado hill climb thing.
Yeah, that seems...
I really want to do that.
Time.
Yeah.
And the right car for that is a Mach-E with a cage.
I want something louder. Okay. I mean, you'll win for sure. A Mach-E rally with a cage would be a great car. And actually, Ford might be interested in making that happen.
A fan DM'd me like a couple days ago and said that he was doing a local regional rally cross and someone showed up in a Mach-E rally and said destroyed everybody in the all-wheel drive stock class.
Yeah.
And was only beaten by like a couple like professional grade hill climb cars.
I bet.
Presumably driven by professional grade drivers.
Yeah.
You know, like this dude just showed up and just like murked people in his Mach-E.
That's awesome.
God, I hope it's leased. You know,
That's
like,
great. That's what that car should be used for.
That is I will die on the hill that is the most underappreciated car in the market right now.
Ford, if you're listening, put a cage in a Mach-E rally and let's do the Colorado hill climb.
That would be so fun. How long is the course? It's not too long.
What's it called? It's not. Is it Mount Evans Hill Climb? No.
I don't know. The only problem with the Mach-E rally that I could foresee is that when I did Performance EV of the Year two years ago, I only got full power for like maybe 3 laps of the track. So that could be an issue. We'd have to have them set it to like nuclear just to make sure that you had full kill the whole time.
Yeah.
Or maybe Vaughn would let us use his like electric, like
That
1,500
thing's
horsepower
insane.
one.
All right, I can't find it. So
Chevy D-list celebrity wagon. Thoughts on rebuying a car you've owned before? Ooh, that's a tough one. Have you ever redated a girl that you've dated before? Because I have, and it did not fucking go well. Remember Martha?
it never. Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, we all have. Yeah, and I didn't marry any of them, so I think that tells you how it goes.
Yeah. If I sell a car, I'm mentally done with that car. I now have enough space and resources where I could keep a car for indefinitely if I wanted to. So, people well, let me just put it this way. Anytime someone who owns a car I've owned before wants to sell it, the very first thing they do is DM me. Mm-hmm. So I know that my old Corvette has had like 4 different owners since me.
Funny.
The Mustang is on like, owner whatever. And they always, hey, I'm looking to sell. And, do you want? No, I don't miss these things. Like they can go. But would you?
I think anytime I see an 06 STI, I go, oh, because I have such fond memories.
Yeah.
But I'm sure if I drove one around again for like a week, I'd go, oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I had the experience.
Sure.
I will never be able to replicate how much fun I had in that car. So
Yeah. Okay.
basically this.
Donnie's cellmate says, thoughts on Soviet watches like Raketa. I feel like every watch collector has a phase where they discover Soviet watches. And Soviet watches are pretty funny. They're like, the design on them is like insane. The numbers are really nuts looking. They tick like fucking time bombs because like, of course they do. And they're cheap. You can get a pretty cool looking funky watch for like, under $200 or $300. And some of them do look cool. I had 1 or 2 back in the day. I buy them. I wear them once or twice. I get sick of them. They're not really waterproof. The movements are like, okay. I don't know. If it's one of those things where if you're in that phase of like buying, like I want to have 12 watches that are cheap just so I can have like a big, collection, then it's a good thing to have and wear once in a while. But both of the ones I had, I ended up like giving away to my nephew or something. I was not all that into them. Manual transmissionary position. That's fucking great. Studio Underdog watches. What are your thoughts? They're very cool. I wish they made a 40 millimeter. All their watches are like 37, so they're too small for me. Otherwise, I would have bought one.
They're really cool.
They're really cool.
Yeah.
The colors are rad. The vibe is really fun. If they come out with a 40 or a 41, I'm in, but not at 37. Okay. Stone Cold ET says my sister-in-law, I think that's, or maybe son-in-law, SIL, just bought an electric Kona other than EV-rated winter tires. What else? Oh, should she, I guess that's sister-in-law, do to prepare for a northern British Columbia winter? She does not have indoor parking or charging at her apartment. Ooh, that sucks. P.S. She hasn't had a car in winter in 30 years. So this could be tough because if you have outdoor parking for an EV and no charging, you can't use any of the benefits of like preheating the battery and the cabin off the grid. You have to use the car to do that. Mm-hmm. So like when people talk about the EV range sucking in the winter, it's mainly if you cold start it, like your sister-in-law is going to have to do. It'll be fully cold soaked to God knows what, 30 below overnight, and it's going to take so much energy to get that thing warm. Your range is fucked. Like, whereas if you could plug it in overnight and you use the app and say, I'm leaving at 8 a.m., it'll pre-condition everything like before you get in the car using the home power, and your range will be much more like it would have been normally. It'll still be a little lower, but not nearly like low like it is. Like your sister-in-law's, I hope she doesn't have to go very far.
Basically, she should prepare to have a much reduced range.
Yeah.
And does the car feel different when it's super cold when you first start cold starting it?
Like, I mean, it won't like give you full power, but I'm guessing this person isn't just like flooring it out of her apartment every day. But
yeah, so winter tires and just shorter trips.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if the advertised range is 300, but you're cold starting it like this, I bet you get 150. It's going to use so much energy to get that battery hot.
Wow.
It just, yeah.
That means she probably needs to be really diligent about charging before she goes home, because it might be 2-3 days in a row, depending on what your drive is each day. But if tell her the first time she cold starts it on a really cold day to look at how much the range has changed from when she arrived home. And then you have to do that math. Yeah. How many days you can do that before you have no battery.
Paul says, if you could turn any SoCal road into a permanent hill climb where you would pay and drive like the Nürburgring, which would you choose? That's a fun one. Spunky Canyon?
Oh, that's a fun one. You got a lot of long straight stuff, and then it gets real tight.
Yeah. I would do the whole length of Spunky Canyon Road, where you have a really fast section that then dives into a very technical section with good camber. That could be really fun.
If you want it to be slightly safer, I think something like Big Tahunga, a little more sweepy, a little bit, and the speeds aren't too high.
Sure.
That's a nice one, too.
How about Sand Canyon?
It's okay. Up and over?
Yeah.
I don't think that's that great.
Okay.
Sandy.
Christian says, I'm 30 and have never had the opportunity to learn how to drive a stick. My dad has an 84 RX-7. If I learned on that, would it translate to other modern cars? Yep. Sure would. That's the best thing about stick. It's permanent.
Yep. Neither of us. We didn't learn on modern cars. We learned on old cars because that's what was around.
2 dope boys and a mountaineer. That's fucking great. I love that. It was more like 6 dope boys. We roll 6 up, 3 rows. TVs everywhere. After your reviews, I leased a Mach-E premium rear-wheel drive and have been loving it. Since the EV credit is gone, what do you think the used EV market will do? Should I consider buying the lease out? You should have, even if it's a 2-year lease, I think you have a couple of months to figure that out. I think the used EV market will be bolstered slightly. It'll go up. If the price of new ones go up, the price of used ones will at least, maybe if not go up, they will, the depreciation will slow. As someone who owns a used luxury EV, I'm in that boat too.
Now, is their price locked? Is their buyout price locked in before the EV credits went away? Well, that's kind of good.
The buyout price is locked in from the day you sign the lease.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they might.
So you know how much you're going to have to pay, and you can wait until that day. You don't. This is other than ensuring you have another car. If you got to be ready to turn it in or ready to buy it out and ready to make a move based on either. Mm-hmm. But you don't need a whole ton of foresight.
Right.
To do that.
So they could watch what's happening with the used market, which is great, and then you might find yourself in a position where your buyout price is lower than the market rate, which would be incredible. It's like when people were buying the Saab 9 2X back in the day and then selling it for more.
Yeah. My guess is if your miles are like any other car, if your miles are way under, it may make sense to buy the lease. If your miles are close to the allocated miles or over, then it's probably not worth it. That's just my napkin math. There's a lot of nuance there, but you don't have to know that now. You could figure that out with a few days notice and be ready to go. Chase Car says, what's the better daily weekend combo from GM and Porsche? Okay, wait. Oh, okay, wait. So a Blackwing daily and a 911 or Cayman as a weekend car versus a Macan or Panamera daily and a Corvette weekend car, $150K for both cars.
Living here, I would go Macan daily, Corvette weekend car.
Yeah.
That's what I would do. CTSV is awesome, but as a daily noise, fuel consumption, stiff, low.
Yeah.
Around here, it would just be stupid. It would
I
wear
agree.
me out.
Yeah, Macan daily and Corvette weekend car would probably be all right. It would have to be a good Corvette.
Yes.
But that's where I'd be. Yeah.
What are used Z06s going for right now?
I mean, it would have to be a C8 Z06. I'm not buying a regular one, but it would have to be. I'll tell you what, the best thing about the ZR1 is that it's a Corvette. I mean, it's not precious. It will never be precious, and that's great because it means they'll however many the market wants to buy, they'll build 20 more than that.
Yeah.
Right? And so they're going to depreciate, maybe not forever, maybe not as fast, but man, when a ZR1 gets to 100K,
that's crazy.
Let me tell you something. You better be ready with 100K because they're worth the money new. But if you're an enthusiast and you're going, I'm never going to afford a McLaren or a Pista or any of that kind of shit, figure out how to save 100 over 3 or 4 years, and the ZR1 will come to you.
Sorry, I'll do that.
Stu Dog has a customer Patreon issue, but Zack says noted. Okay. Okay, wait. Thoughts? 2007 LL Bean Outback. Thoughts on the M2 CS, the old one, compared to other sports cars in 70 to 90K? Seems to have held up. It's held up as an investment perspective. They're rad. Those last M2s were a good time.
Mm-hmm.
They came in manual too, didn't they? You get both transmissions.
Suspension on them was incredible.
Yeah, they were fun. I probably could get used to it over time. It's not the kind of thing that would keep me excited constantly. I bet it was. I remember it was great for a week, but if I had it for a year, I'd kind of be okay, this is the thing. So I don't see it as a forever car. But the M1 and these M2 CSs, you can put a few thousand miles on them for what seems like free, which is pretty cool. Is that good compared to the GT350, Cayman GTS, and Camaro SS ZL1? Well, the Mustangs and Camaros are bigger. That's the biggest thing. They're both faster and they're both bigger. So that, the M2 is small. The Cayman GTS is very small and mid-engine. So the M2's virtue is that it's very, very fast and very, very small. Mm-hmm. Not very, but
it's also luxurious inside.
Yeah,
it's very comfortable. It's got all the modern stuff.
Yeah,
it definitely feels like an upscale car compared to the GT350 or the Camaro.
Yeah, and if you're not putting people in the back seat all the time, then it actually does have a lot of room for the front seat. They're very good.
Yeah,
I like them. One more, and then I have to stop the show to pee. Matt's matzo ball soup. That's Carl's matzo ball soup. I have no matzo ball soup of my own. I'm very fortunate to make Carl's. I should make it soon. It's been a long time. Getting more into track driving. Should I upgrade my F87 M2 or get something like a BRZ for the track? Comes down to money and space. Wait, like, I don't understand. Like, is this a second car? Get a BRZ second car is what we're thinking here. That this means.
Yeah, I think it's, should I upgrade my M2 or should I get a BRZ? I think as a dedicated track car.
As a dedicated track car? Well, yeah. Haven't we learned about, is there a fix for that oil baffle thing?
I don't know.
I will first figure out if that is. I probably wouldn't get a BRZ if you have an M2 as a street car. I think it would probably feel slow. I'd probably get like a 2014 Mustang GT with a Maximum Motorsports kit and run actual good times.
That is
and your car would
the
feel
best
really
performance
fast.
bargain, reliability bargain out there. Yeah.
That would actually be, you know,
or you could get an E36 track car with like the regular S52 or just like the M50 in it, because then it will have more horsepower or feel faster than the BRZ. The BRZ engine just, I don't know, the balance of those cars is so fun. There was one at Lemons, lasted the whole time. A bunch of people in the paddock were saying that's probably going to be the new Lemons Miata, because Miatas just aren't cheap enough really anymore. They've gone up. So
this last one is real quick, and then we're going to end here. Trogador the Burninator. Should I have any concerns taking my Notice Canyon through airport security, do x-rays, etc., have any negative impact on mechanical watches? No, you should have no issue at all taking any mechanical watch through an x-ray machine. I refuse to take my watches off at airport security in any country. Rob Ferretti's Panerai was stolen at airport security. That doesn't necessarily mean all airport security is inherently unsafe, and I'm not like fearmonger, but like they don't ask you to. People just automatically take their watches off. But like I've fly so much, no watch has ever set off airport fucking security for me. And if they absolutely insist you take it off, bury that shit inside your bag. Like, don't just like put it in a tray and send it through. Like, but keep it on. Keep it on. That's our show, folks. Thank you for your patience as I traveled and we had to do a remote show, get ahead, all those things. Back in the studio now for a little bit. And Road and Track Experiences, if you want to come drive with me in November. Willow Springs this weekend, Saturday, all day. It's going to be great fun. Come out and see the show, say hi. And thank you to our patrons for such great questions. We will see you guys on Thursday. Bye.